on this computer. All right. Hello, Dream Team. Welcome to Monday's Zoom. It is Monday, August 7th, and my baby boy started college today. He's actually starting training camp. He has 3 weeks of training camp, but he just sent me pictures of his dorm, and I'm not crying. So this is a huge step in the process because I cried my eyes out all day yesterday and a teeny tiny bit this morning. How is it you can be so proud of someone that, like, I don't know, they just breathe and you're like, oh my God, he's amazing. Anyway, if you were lucky enough to catch the Zoom I did yesterday that was supposed to be a power plan and I didn't at all plan crap with anybody, I unloaded a ton of tips and things that I've been learning through a recruiting boot camp that I did all of last week, and I'm still going through it again this week. I'm just repeating everything. My morning walk is nothing but the videos over and over and over. I have a lot of stuff to share, and honestly, it's kind of jumbled in my brain because there's so much to it. So I'm going to do my best today to stick to a few things and try to get detailed about them. So you might want a pen and paper, or you may just want to like focus and then go back and watch this. I'll put this on my YouTube. And yesterday's power plan is on the YouTube. Sonny, I want to go back and listen again. You know what? So I want to go back and listen again. I want to go back and listen to my own self again. I don't remember half the stuff I shared. But I'm going to try to be more precise today. Okay. But before we do that, I want to kick it off by saying congratulations to Miss Shantae for being our rewards winner from last week. Congratulations. I actually just left the post office and you have something on the way. And I should have looked at that piece of paper so I could tell you how many days it's going to take, but I do not remember. So I will maybe, I will look later and I'll shoot you a message and let you know. Sandra, it was so good yesterday. I am too. I may hide my face. Gotcha. That's okay. You eat your lunch. So yes, congratulations, Shantae. And then I also want to take the time to say thank you to Samantha and Sandra because they jumped into the team page last week and they both did amazing trainings. If you guys missed Samantha's on goal setting, it is alive. It's in Dream Team. I loved the process. She even has an amazing, beautiful graphic that can go with it, but I just did it on my sheet of paper with her. Often we say we want to set a goal and we set it and then we we put it on our vision board and we walk away from it. Like she made you dive into it. She made you like really dive into it. How are you going to know you hit it? What are the things that you need to do to get there? What are the things that are going to stop? Like you really got into it. And I loved that process. So I was so appreciative of her sharing that. And then if you guys caught Sandra on Friday, and again, if you didn't, it's alive. It's in the team page. You can go back and watch it. But she started just rattling off like a fire hose, all these ways to interact with people, the everything from belly to belly, like running into someone at the store to having a make and take to just friend maker extraordinaire. So both of those trainings were incredible. I'm super appreciative. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm so glad you're both on here so I could do that in real life versus in a recording. Okay, so and I know you guys, I know there's a lot of trainings that go around. I know we have the 9 a.m. wake up and wins, and I know we have all that stuff. And I know sometimes it can seem overwhelming. So please don't feel like you have to be on everything. But I will tell you, if you only have 30 minutes this week to dedicate to something extra, instead of the wake up and win, I would go watch one of those recordings I just told you about because they're very tactile and you can like really work through some things. Anyway, that's just my preference. So, okay, with that in mind, I'm going to dive into a few things today. And like I said, I'm going to slowly but surely try to start regurgitating a lot of the things that I learned last week in this recruiting boot camp that I took. You guys, I was in class, I'll call it, for a lack of a better word, every day from 1 p.m. until 4:30 in the afternoon. And it was like lightning round. I mean, just nonstop. Like you couldn't even take notes. You could not keep up. It was just fast. It was so fast. It was just so fast. Lots of guest speakers, lots of Q&A, just a lot. But the great thing is I am supposed to be getting a workbook, which is supposed to be the transcripts from every Zoom, from every live, from every guest speaker. So like for instance, when they were going through the scripts and they said them so quickly, like they would literally throw out 10 scripts and just read them, like, or not read them, but they were like saying to like role playing. I couldn't write them down and pay attention. So anyway, I'm getting all that. And as I get all that, I'll be able to give you more detailed information. But I'm going to start with just some of the basic stuff that we did on day one. And some of it is so basic that it's almost mind-boggling. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, I immediately had some things I had to do. Okay, your profile. So I will also tell you this recruiting boot camp was based on using social media to the fullest. It was geared towards network marketers who want to use social media to triple, quadruple, and explode their business. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking to you about is social media tactics, messaging tactics, things like that. This is not to say that you know, we still obviously love our locals, we still love our belly to belly, but just, you know, that's where this training was geared towards. So your profile pics, it needs to be your face. I know some of the people on the team that have really great quotes as their profile pics, and I'm going to tell you right now, please take that down and put your face. Preferably, it's going to be your face without a heavy filter on it. So, you know, like especially like Snapchat and Instagram, they have those really great filters, and and trust me, I use filters all the time in my stories. But they kind of blur stuff, or they give you weird coloring, or they put like almost like makes it look like an old picture, you know, like put marks on it. Your profile picture is yay big, right? So if you have this little yay big picture of yourself and it's got marks on it and kind of looks funky, it's going to be hard for someone to really truly see if that's you when they're scrolling through and they're trying to find you. So your profile picture needs to be your face. It needs to be clear and crisp and clean. I'm not saying you couldn't go through like a app and smooth out your wrinkles if you wanted to, or add eyelashes or whatever. I know you can do all kinds of stuff on these apps. But I would make it clean, crisp, right? A crisp picture of you. I would take that picture and I would go to either Canva or to bgremover.com, which is just a free website. I would upload that photo and have it remove the background. So it is literally just your face, just your shoulders, your neck, your whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? So that there's not like if I took my picture right now, okay, but I've got all this stuff around me, right? So BG Remover would take all that away. And then you're going to take your new beautiful face with no background, and you can do this in Canva, you can do it in Instagram, however you want to do it. You're going to now take that and put that on a colored background. So if you are so advanced, which I am not, to have kind of a brand about you, like maybe you're always in a certain color, or maybe you're always, you know, I don't know, whatever, I guess it would be a color, then I would use that color. If you're not to that point in your life, which I am not, I would pick a color that either really makes you look even better in the photo. Maybe it brings out your eyes, maybe it brings out the color in your cheeks, or use your favorite color. But ideally, you're going to have a profile picture that is your face with a solid background. Let me pull mine up here really quick and show you guys. See profile picture. So you see that's just my face with the background. Okay, simple, right? Just my face with the background. Now, guess what else you got to do? That needs to be your profile picture everywhere. Everywhere. Your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, your Twitter, your Threads, your Snapchat, your Pinterest. I'm probably missing some social media apps out there, but it needs to match. And so while I learned, excuse me, just hit puberty, while I learned the whole gesture face with a colored background a long time ago, when I learned it, apparently I updated Facebook, but I had not updated my Instagram. I had not updated my YouTube. I still need to go in and update my Pinterest. I guess I need to update my Threads. I can't remember. And I don't use Twitter, but they all need to match. So put yourself in someone's shoes. They've just stumbled upon one of your reels. They think you are funny, or they think you're so smart, or you just taught them something they never knew, and now they're curious to know what else you might be able to teach them, or they love your style, like whatever the heck it is about you. And they go to find you. And maybe they saw you on an Insta, or maybe, oh, TikTok. I forgot. See, I knew I would forget when TikTok. Maybe they saw you on TikTok, and now they want to see if they can find you on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever. if those like you guys, I'm sure I know I have done this a million times where I've been like, oh, that girl, or even like, I don't know, like I met somebody one time, and remember your profile's this big. So if they saw your profile on TikTok, they can immediately find you a lot faster on a different social media platform because the picture is the same. So not only having the same picture does that make it cohesive to where someone's like, oh yeah, that's for sure her. That's the same photo. Yep, that's the right one. They also start to trust who you are because you're the same person everywhere they go, right? How many of you guys know people who, I don't know, maybe they made an Instagram account and they use their nickname and they got a different picture and you're like, that ain't her. That's not the way she acts. That's not her. You like, this is just another way of, it is a version of branding because it is your face and you are using it over and over, but it's a way to be consistent and trustworthy in the fact that, oh, hey, that is the same person. Oh, that is her. Okay. Because also sometimes you're not going to have, like, I know if you go to my Facebook, a lot of what's on my Facebook, well, let me say this backwards. If you go to my Instagram, a lot of what's on my Instagram is on my Facebook, but a lot of what's on my Facebook isn't on my Instagram. I don't share everything onto Instagram that I share onto Facebook. So maybe somebody found me on Instagram, and then when they find me over on Facebook, they're going to learn a little bit more about me, a different version, not a different version, but maybe more detailed things about me. But they're going to know it's me because it's the same one. So again, I know that is super, super simple, but are some of you right now like, oh crap, my YouTube picture doesn't match the rest of my stuff, or, oh, I haven't updated my Pinterest in 3 years and I know it doesn't match, right? So just a simple tactic, but it's a big step in the right direction. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about, and I actually just had this conversation one-on-one with one of you in real life because we were together. I want you guys, a lot of times we talk about a social media audit, and we talk to, like, a lot of people panic and like, oh my gosh, have I talked enough about Thrive? Oh my gosh, have I done that? I want you to do a different audit. I want you to go to your last 5 posts, and if you're able to do this right now, great. If you can't, do it when you get off of your Zoom. You're going to go to your last 5 posts, and I want you to look. Did you get any comments on the post? And are there any comments that you have not commented back on yet? We have a girl on our team right now who has a post that's going a little bit viral. She has over 300 and some comments that have been made, which is overwhelming, but she has not commented back to a single person yet. So she's going to start knocking it out 10 at a time. Because the way you have to look at this, remember, we're using social media to grow our business. And so, yes, when something goes semi-viral like that, like maybe you made a reel and people are all excited, or maybe you made a post and people are excited. And it doesn't even have to go viral-ish. It could just be you got 2 or 3 comments on there of people who don't normally comment on your stuff. You have got to take the time to comment back. It doesn't have to be in the moment. Like, you don't have to like literally respond that very second, but you have to take the time to comment back. And I learned this a long time ago, but she reiterated it in our coaching. Match energies. If it's somebody who sends you an emoji, comment back with an emoji. If somebody sends you a GIF, you can either comment with a GIF or an emoji. If somebody actually like gives you one word, you can comment back with one word. So I did a post a couple weeks ago about how, help me name my frog, my fountain out, my bird bath thing. And I did it for interactive. And some people sent me a picture of a frog. Well, no shit, it's a frog. I already told it. My picture shows it's a frog, but whatever. So I just send back a little emoji of a heart, right? Some people wrote Bob, Ted, Frank. And I was like, cute. Some people were like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. I think you should name it. So then I wrote back, thank you so much for that suggestion, right? So I'm matching energy with energy. So don't get overwhelmed. If you've got 20 things you need to be commenting back on, just whatever they gave you, you're going to give back. So if they gave you a short, sweet answer, you're going to give them something back. But here's the thing. Strangers will build your business. We've talked about this a million times. You guys, in my upper right corner right now on this, wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 people on this screen right now with me that were total and complete strangers before they joined Thrive. Total and complete strangers. There's only 2 people on here who I knew previous to starting this business. Strangers will build your business. So if you have 3 strangers commenting, if you have 368 strangers commenting, that's free money looking at you. That's a free possibility of a free customer. You have to comment back. And you're going to, Lisa, I have discovered, you know, every now and then you get that sweet little old lady who, bless her heart, she's commented on 7 things, right? And you're like, oh my gosh. Now I will tell you, if you start getting somebody who's commenting on everything or liking literally everything you're doing, I would go to the profile right away and see if it's real, if it's a bot, if it feels bot-ish, if it feels weirdish to you, block it and move on. But if you see somebody's commenting on several things and you're like, oh my gosh, I think this might be a 92-year-old who got her iPad out, still comment back to that person. It boosts your algorithm all the time, right? But also, you never know. You never know. This little old lady that kept commenting on my stuff, she was commenting about a bird post and then commenting about a flower and something else. She commented the other day about, I did a video about Moog gel, and I just had the words on the screen about how like digging holes and spreading mulch and pulling weeds without aching. She was like, now wait, what is this stuff? I'm 70. Score. I could have ignored all of her other comments, but I didn't. We didn't get into full-blown conversations by any means, but when she asked me a question, I answered it. When she gave me a one-word comment, I responded. When she gave me a paragraph, I gave her a sentence back, right? So you've got, it's a ping pong. It's social. It's literally called social media. You have got to be social and you've got to start responding. If it's your Aunt Sally and she comments on all of your stuff, God bless her, comment back. Aunt Sally is boosting your algorithm every single time, right? If it's your mom and she loves everything you do and she gives you a heart, give her a heart emoji back. I don't mean just click the heart button, like give her a heart emoji back. Every time you get a comment on a post and you comment back, it's gonna bump it up. It's gonna add to it. It also tells whatever app you're on, hey, this person is active. This person is engaged. We're going to make sure people see more of her stuff. And what we need to be doing right now is becoming obsessed with being discovered, because the only way to build your network is to meet new people. And if you want to meet new people in droves, which I would love to meet 400, like literally there's 300 and I think 386 comments on this one post waiting to be talked to. If you could tell me, okay, we're going to introduce you to 386 people today, I'm like, okay. But if you're like, okay, you got to go to the grocery store and meet one person in the meat aisle, I don't know, that's not my jam. Right? So use it to your advantage. So do that audit with yourself. How many people have commented something? And like I said, even if they didn't comment a whole thing, if they just sent you an emoji, that's it. They took the time to pour into you, pour back to them. Okay. Now the other thing I want to do in the last 10 minutes that we have here together, if you were on the power plan yesterday, you heard some of this. If you, and I don't know, I probably won't be able to get into all of it as like I did yesterday. So you can always go back and watch that. But I'm going to tell a real quick story about a person who got me super excited about a Facebook group. And I know some faces have heard this, but I'm going to share it anyway. And I'm going to tell you how to use that story to your advantage. So Jennifer's aunt, who is a promoter with us. So I don't follow a lot of promoters, but she is one that I have followed off and on over the years. And one day I was going through her stories because I'm just nosy Rosie. We're all nosy Rosie. Is that not why we're in people's stories? And she was sharing how she took her lifestyle mix and she made it into like a milkshake, like ice cream. And I was like, what a great idea. A few weeks later, I saw it again. And this time I saw like a little snippet of this machine behind, like I think she was actually pouring it or scooping it out of the machine. I was like, oh, she used a machine for that. Like, I don't know what I thought she used the first time. I never questioned it. But the second time I was like, oh, she got a machine for that. So I think I saw it a few more times over, you know, however many weeks. And then one day I randomly was at Walmart and I was like, you know, I'm gonna look for one of those ice cream machines. I didn't know what I was looking for. I just looked up and down the aisles. I didn't see anything. I was like, well, they don't have anything, whatever. And then a week or two later on her post or in something, she said how getting that Ninja Freeze was the greatest thing she ever did. And she was so excited to have found the Facebook group with all the recipes. I was like, there's a group for this? There's recipes? There, people know. It's kind of like the day I found out about the Instapot, and then I found out I was like a year behind the rest of the world. But the second she said there was a whole Facebook group, I was like, this is something that lots of people do. Like, this is not just Jennifer. Like, I'm missing the boat on something. Follow that story from beginning to end. Jennifer doesn't sell the Ninja Freeze by any means, but she sprinkled that shit in her story. I picked up on what she was laying down. Next thing I knew, I thought I might want one. And then I realized it was something a bunch of people have. And I was like, I think I need this. That is your Thrive, you guys. And you have a customer group. So when you're dripping your Thrive into your stories and you're dripping your Thrive into your post and people are hearing about it, and then every blue moon you pop up and say, man, that's the best decision I ever made. And I'm so happy to be in this Facebook group with all these recipes or with all these before and afters or with all this testimonial or whatever the heck you feel like you're feeling in the moment. And somebody hears that and they're like, wait a minute, I knew Shantae did that, but I know there's a whole group of people that did it. What? That's the kind of marketing you can be doing. So right now, one of the best assets we have, aside from our Vibing and Thriving group, is our 10-day detox group. It is so awesome. You can make a post about, I'm going to start detox. I don't even care if you do. I mean, do it. It's wonderful. It's hard as hell, but it's awesome in the end. But you can talk about how you're going to do detox, or you can talk about how you just finished detox, or you're in the middle of detox. And then when people are like, what's this detox? And you will get questions about detox. Every single time I do it, I get questions about detox because everybody wants a magic pill and they hear the word detox and they're like, sweet. The second someone says, what's this detox? I'm like, oh girl, it's 10 days. It was amazing. There's a whole group about it. Do you want me to put you in there? Yeah, they went in that group. They went in that group right now. Somebody sent me a message. Hey, what's this detox? Do I have to eat I think I can't remember certain foods or whatever, however she worded it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I just finished it. I feel incredible. Yeah, there are foods that are better than others, and there's a whole group about it. You want me to add you to it? Yeah. Right? Like, doesn't that get you excited? Don't you want to be in the detox group now too? That you know there's a whole group of people doing it? But I didn't go out there and say, you guys, I got this detox. It's 10 days. It's for heavy metals. It's going to go in. It's going to bind with all the heavy metals. And then at night, you're going to take these capsules and you're going to poop it all out. Like, no, you don't have to go through all that stuff. You just need to let people know you use it. You love it. It's exciting. And guess what? We have a whole group of people who use this. You want me to add you to that group? Oh my gosh, I think I can add you to that. If I can, do you want me to? Play dumb. It's a really big group. I'm not sure, but I think I can add you to it. Do you want that? Do you want me to add you to that? Yeah, they went in it. And then the second they're in it, now you got to make sure you put them on your follow-up list. So you've added somebody to the detox group. That very day that you add them, I tag them in the grocery list and I tag them in a recipe and say, hey, this was one of my favorites. Because now they're in the group. Now they're in it. They're clicking on some posts. They got at least 2 they're going to look at, and they're probably going to start scrolling. It's the exact same way with our Vibing and Thriving customer group. If somebody asked me about that Move gel, oh my gosh, we got a whole group about it. Do you want me to add you? Yes, I add them to the group. I go in and I find I actually did a video of my own about Move gel years ago that's in there. I can tag them on that. I can just search the group for the word Move gel and ta-da, or I can even search the word for joint support and tag them in something like that. And then a few days later, you can tag them in something else. A few days after that, hey, I tagged you in a few things. Did you get a chance to look at those? What isn't that exciting? Wasn't that awesome? Like you not only have a reason to respond to them because you've tagged them in important things that they need to look at, but they've most likely looked at it because they want it in that group and they've probably peeked around. What other kind of questions can I answer for you? Right? You have a legit follow-up. This is the exact same process that I went through with a sampler. And again, I went through this in detail yesterday in that power plan where we didn't do any planning of any kind. But it's all on my YouTube. I've literally gone through my sampler with this. When I finally weeded her out all the way through and we decided she was really going to do a sample, you know what, there's an entire group about this. Do you want me to add you to that? Oh my gosh, yes. So I added it to her. I tagged her in a couple of things today. So I think this was Friday. She requested it. Saturday, I mailed it. Saturday, I sent her the tracking. Yesterday, today's Monday. Yeah, yesterday I tagged her. Yesterday I sent her the how-to, my little quick, how-to. Today, I got it all written down, but I can't remember for crap. Today, I'm going to tag her. And she wants to lose some weight, but she's also a recovering addict. She's 2 years sober. So I'm going to see if there's anything like that in our Vibing and Thriving group. And then tomorrow her shipment comes. So I'm going to tag her. Like I'm literally going to I'm going to keep tagging her and stuff like that because it's a way for me to drip her information and keep her in that group. It also keeps our customer group bumped up and, you know, exciting for people. So if you are not in the Vibing and Thriving group, which I feel like most all of you are, if you aren't, please let your upline know. If you have downline and they're not in the Vibing and Thriving group, like you actually have working promoters, like don't go add everybody to your downline. I'm not adding all of Dream Team because of all the Dream Team, we got 7 people on here today, right? So add active. If you have someone who's active and they're not in Vibe and Thrive, and add them. Also, you guys, detox, when the group was originally made, it's called 10-day Vibing and Thriving Detox, or 10-day Detox Vibing, something like that. We used to only run it for 10 days, pull everybody out. Next month, we ran it for 10 days. Well, that got really tricky because we started running out of people to run the group every month because not everybody was, it was tricky. So Vibing and Thriving Detox group is up all the time. All the recipes are in there, the grocery lists are in there, all that kind of stuff. So if you're not in that group, let your upline know so we can put you in there. Because if you are currently doing detox and you make a post about it or you talk about it in your stories and somebody says, what's detox? What are you going to say? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. There's a whole group on Facebook about it. You want me to add you? If someone says, what are you allowed to eat on that detox? Oh my gosh, we got a whole group full of recipes. Let me add you to it and you can peek around, right? Use these groups to your advantage. And I also feel like the reason that it is so important to use these groups is because it takes the whole salesy that like we all get really nervous when it's time to sell something to someone, right? Like everyone, we get nervous, we get the pit in our belly, like, oh my God, they asked me a question. They asked me what Thrive was, and I don't even know what to say. I take it every day. I know everything about it, but I don't know what to say. Like you start getting nervous, right? This is a way for you to not have to answer a million questions that they did not ask you. They just asked you, what is Thrive? Oh my gosh, those are the vitamins I take every day. It's the most amazing thing in the world. We got a whole group about it. Right? They didn't ask anything else. How many of you, when somebody says, what's that Thrive, you start going, well, it's vitamins and it's minerals and it's digestive enzymes and it's, well, it's 3 steps and right? They didn't ask you that. They didn't ask you how many steps it was. They didn't ask you what's in it. They just said, what's this Thrive stuff about? What's this Thrive stuff like? There's a whole group about it. You can pick around, you can learn. Let those groups work for you. We literally have a calendar where people go in every single day of the week and they make a post. So there's always new content in that group for people to read. There's always something for you to tag them in. There's always something going on in there. Talk about third-party validation. How many of you struggle with either using or getting people into a 3-way chat or a 3-way call? How about a 400-way chat? It's called Vibing and Thriving. It's right there for all of you to use. Okay, so I know that was only 3 things. I know it was very fast, but we are out of time. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We will keep dissecting this recruiting bootcamp probably for the next 6 months based on how I feel of what I learned. And we'll go from there. Lunch and Grow is up next, and then corporate call at 1 o'clock Eastern. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.